Guten Abend. How's everybody doing? Whoop. Wrong button. How are y'all doing? My name is Jill Pill, and I am back to my normal voice. So that means that we are not going to be continuing with Metroid Other M for right now. But that's only right now. After I finish up this Phoenix Wright game, then we'll be continuing Other M. Or if I get sick again, or whatever, be continuing Metroid Other M. I'm kind of excited, honestly, to keep playing it, just because it's just such a interesting, for lack of a better word, game. I guess it's just kind of like a morbid curiosity of like, what is this game? What makes it so, like, infamously terrible? And we're starting to see why. I think the most egregious thing, besides them turning Samus, who's supposed to be a very strong female lead in her video games and just like this badass, into such a Adam didn't tell me that I can use my missiles, like, whatever, shadow of her actual self. I think the other most egregious thing is playing this game using the D-pad. I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be kind of like Metroid Prime, where you could, you know, use the joystick on the nunchuck to move around and stuff, but moving around in a 3D space with the D-pad is just awful. Yeah, the most egregious part of it is it's fucking boring as shit. That too, but also, you know that you want to see these terrible, terrible cutscenes as much as I do. We have to count how many times Samus says the baby. Oh, it's gonna be a good time. Oh, we'll be drunk before hour 1 if we take a shot every time she says the baby. Or take a shot every time Adam says he hasn't authorized Samus to use a weapon. Meh, I checked out halfway through. Thing is, after I play this one, I don't know what series to go on to. It's not even bad, it's good, it's just bad. Yeah, it's pretty damning. I'm not really sure what series I want to move on to. I don't want to play a series where like all the games are really long. I don't want to do RPGs or like anything like that. I'm kind of thinking something adventure-y, and I want it to be something in a series, not just like standalone games. I was kind of thinking, what if we played Castlevania games? Castlevania would be a lot of fun. And I can honestly say I have never played a 3D Castlevania game, like the ones on the N64, the ones on the PS3. You know, it's funny, I was just about to suggest that exact same thing. I think we're on the right track. Maybe we do with Castlevania what we did with Metroid, and play a 2D one followed by a 3D one. Because I've got a lot of each of them. And it could be really, really interesting. So maybe we do that. Maybe we do Castlevania after I finish up Metroid Other M. Gotta start with Symphony of the Night. That's a pretty good suggestion. Gotta start out strong. Yeah, Symphony of the Night would be a lot of fun. And with all of the games being released on like all the Switch collections and whatever, It's really easy to just like have them accessible and ready to go, like even the ones that were on the DS. But yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. We'll finish up Other M, we'll get into Castlevania, and then whenever Metroid Prime 4 comes out, that is the Castlevania. I think that was actually the game that solidified the term Metroidvania, right? Like, it was that one and Super Metroid that just kind of, like, solidified that term. But yeah, whenever Metroid Prime 4 comes out, I was kind of thinking it would be fun to do a blind playthrough on the channel. If I can, you know, keep myself from playing it casually off stream. But yeah. Also, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I've heard that series is like spiritual successor. It is. I've played I played that one, and then I played the ones that are kind of like Castlevania 3 for the NES. And they're all really good. They're all really, really good. But anyways, let's get back into some lawyer-ins so we can move forward with this stuff, huh? Let's see. March 22nd, 9:14 p.m. Gatewater Hotel, Corrida's room. It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Mystic Maya. These things take time. I'd say probably not. The police are professional, Pearls. They'll find her, so don't you worry. And if we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. You're right. Okay, the real killer. So the real person who killed Mr. Corrida was that assassin, Mr. Shelley the Killer, right? And the card Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired the killer to begin with? Who is his client? You mean, who asked for the murder? That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood, but whoever this client is, there's still a killer. Edgeworth needs his own spin-off series. He has his own game. It actually got released on the Switch recently. Hold on. Let me show you this. It's funny that you mentioned that. I think Ratter has this on her wish list.
Yeah, it's on my list, but they want
a full $30 for it. A full $30.
The games I buy digital are like $5 or less.
Phoenix. Alright, that should be enough. Let's see. Chun-Li, Blue Phoenix. No. Okay, that's not enough. Phoenix. It honestly makes sense. He's the most interesting character in that game. I agree. He really is. What's it called? I thought it was a Phoenix Wright spinoff. Edgeworth. Maybe it's that? Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. I think this is it. Yep, this is it. Hold on. I'll play the video for you. Dick Gumshoe. Now see, this is what's interesting, is you can actually like move around and stuff and not just like look at things in a room. Which I guess is just kind of a fancier version of looking at things in a room. Von Karma's here! Oh my god, why did they kawaii her face up? Look how fucking moe she is. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. This is when Edgeworth was younger, so she would have been younger. I bet you that was like teenage Von Karma. Did that man just eat paper? Gregory Edgeworth? What? Edgeworth's daddy? Right, but who's Gregory Edgeworth? Play the game already, Ratter! Oh, there's one more video. Let's see what this one's like. Capcom made this. What? What a way to be welcomed home. One dead detective and one mystery visitor. Yeah, this game looks pretty fucking fun. Not so fast! Edward takes to the crime scene once more. Oh my god, he's fighting a lion. It's the murderer! I wonder how many of these characters are actually from like previous Phoenix Wright games and which ones are like completely original. Her name is Gavel. The chance to follow in his father's see, look! It's his father! Well, it's the same art. His father's footsteps, and then plus when you look at him dead in the elevator. Yeah. No, that's his dad. Daddy Edgeworth. August 23rd of last year. That's 2 days before my last birthday. Okay. I'll go ahead, favorite that. Yeah, so technically there is a Edgeworth-centered game. I don't know if that's what you were expecting, but there is one. Who could have hired the assassin? Do you think it was Ms. Andrews? I wonder. But if she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself? But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then no, it can't be Matt Ungard himself. If Mr. Ungard really did hire the assassin, then he's not innocent at all. Far from it. He would be guilty of the crime. But it can't be Mr. Ungard, right? I mean, when we first talked with him... Mr. Ungard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Juan Corrida? Alright. Just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Juan Corrida, okay? I didn't see any psych locks at that time. Actually, that reminds me. Did you remember something, Miss Nick? Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at trial today. She said something interesting. So what is this interesting thing? Oh, that's right. You didn't hear it, did you, Pearls? Juan had bet everything on the German Ninja this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway. It looked like somehow Juan had his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Mr. Unguard's secret? What is his secret? I don't know yet. But for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Kurita was going to reveal this secret. That means Mr. Ungard had plenty of motive to have Mr. Kurita silenced. Which means we have to meet with Mr. Ungard. There's no way around it. What's he eating now? Bread. Bread. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel, hallway. Wow, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it's past 9 p.m. already. But we still have things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. There's still the matter of this secret Mr. Kurita held about Mr. Ungard, Miss Andrews' real intentions. These are two things I must know tonight. But aren't visiting hours over at the detention center? I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel, Viola Hall. Hey, wait! What is it, whippersnapper? All I know is nothing that has anything to do with you is ever good. Like just now, I was handed this strange device for who knows what reason. And I was told to use it to search the whole hotel. That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. But the request came from Edgy Poo, so... Edgeworth? And he said... If you feel angry, direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer. So I'm going to feel free to direct all my anger towards you! Ugh. Gee, thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. This is absolutely top secret, so you had better keep it to yourself. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of those presents. Very interesting. I'm sure it was, you know. It was to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting. Scandalous? What's that? It means, well, you know, that gossips that's been going around about my dear Juan. Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews. But I'm sure she must have had some good reason for getting close to Mr. Kurita. I'll let you in on another secret, young'un. I know who planted that spy camera. It was an obnoxious, puffy-haired photographer girl. The nerve of some people! Spying on people by herself, as if I wouldn't want to see it for myself, too! Wow. The alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change. I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I bet that it's nothing good! But I didn't say anything. So you want to know about Juan and that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, they were something of a refreshing pair, those two. Oh? I tell ya, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard. That manager? Who are you talking about? You don't know? That manager woman Juan had. It's a shame she killed herself, though. Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impacts, Ms. Andrews' mentor, right? Yes, that's the one! That's Celeste girl! She was supposed to get married, you know. Married? You mean to Mr. Kurita? Really, you young kids these days don't know anything, do ya? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after their marriage announcement. 3 days after their marriage announcement? What in the... Why would Miss Impax want to kill herself? She was going to get married. Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan. What? But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right? They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage. Is that true? It was in the weekly magazines. But why? Why did he do that? That wasn't in the magazines, unfortunately. I see. That night after Juan called off the wedding, that manager, Celeste, killed herself. How terrible. I wonder what happened between those two. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel, hotel lobby. On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. I guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. Looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. March 22nd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. It feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it does. Wonder if something happened. Yo, Mr. Unguard's lawyer. You're Mr. Unguard's lawyer, right? Yes, sir. Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness. A decisive witness? You mean for the Unguard case? We're taking the witness statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth. What's Edgeworth up to now? Who's this witness? I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer. Mr. Nick? Between the kidnapper's demand and now this, I can't see any way to win here. Oh yeah. Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something. He did? Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission. So, there you go. What? I've already called them, so they know. Go on. Go talk to your heart's content. Thank you very much. This is such good news, Mr. Nick. Go talk to your heart's content? Sounds like the police are pretty sure they had tomorrow's trial in the bag. To the detention center! I had no idea I was supposed to jam back on the joystick. I thought it was a hole. 9/29/2022. I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Mr. Unguard and Miss Andrews are in this detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Oh, it's you. I'm sorry for visiting at such a late hour. Yeah, it's crazy how much this lady looks like Zero Suit Samus. But there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was Matt. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about this secret Mr. Kurita had on Mr. Unguard. I'd like to ask you about Matt Unguard, if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him. I mean, you seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. Unguard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? And why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. About Ms. Celeste Impax. I had finally put her death behind me, and now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. I'm sorry. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide, and it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back, and to burn it. You wanted to burn it? But why? I didn't want it to spread like just another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I would never do something so stupid. The suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why did you try to frame Mr. Ungard? That's simple. Because he's the killer. That's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? But there had to be another way. The police are excellent at doing their job, so they'd figure it out, right? Andrew's design feels out of place in this game. I mean, you got all these crazy over-the-top characters everywhere, and then just randomly this LA 10 realistically drawn news reporter for no reason. Yeah, I agree. Like even look at the fucking guard in the background there. He looks goofier and more Phoenix Wrighty than this lady. But yeah, like, she just looks like Zero Suit Samus, straight up. With glasses. Yeah. Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death. Miss Andrews. Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason, so please, tell me why you did what you did. Revenge. Huh? Did you say something just now? Uh-oh! Oh, only one. A Cyclock, huh? Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy. It looks like somebody saw her in the sketchbook and said, yeah, she's fucking hot. Let's go with her. But I'm sure I just heard a thing say revenge. Ugh. Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me. Uh-oh. Mr. Powers. Mr. Austin Powers! What happened? Why are you here? You see, I got roped into this somehow. What? And now I'm going to testify at tomorrow's trial. Austin Powers, groovy baby. Oh, goofy. So the decisive witness is Mr. Powers? I was talking with the detective until a little while ago, and I was on my way home, when all of a sudden, you there! You're under arrest! And I was brought back here. Oh. They said my face and whole self in general looked suspicious or something. Well, I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious. Did you watch the Austin Powers movies at far too young age and then not get any of the jokes until years later, or was that just me? I remember seeing Austin Powers 1 and 2. No, I think I saw 1 in grade school. And then I feel like I saw 2 and 3 in middle school. What years did each of the movies come out? Because I know that I saw 1 way too young. But then I saw 2 or at least 3, when I was in middle school, because I remember watching it with a friend that I made that I know for a fact was in middle school. 97. Okay. So I was in 6th grade in 99, 2000. Yeah, that tracks. So yeah, I probably saw the first Austin Powers movie when I was around 11 or 12. So pretty young to where I wouldn't have gotten all of the jokes, but not so young that all of them flew over my head. Well, I guess I can see how they thought you'd look suspicious. I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime? Yes. So, about this testimony you're giving, what are you going to be talking about? I really don't know yet. But it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me. You saw something important? What was it? Well, the detective told me not to talk about it. You can't tell anyone, and especially not that lawyer, he said. Who do you think is that lawyer? Who do you think is that lawyer the detective was talking about? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it was me. Yeah, you got it. Mr. Nick! Mystic Maya and myself are your only 2 allies in this whole world. But it's alright. Ouch. I don't really have a lot of friends, do I? You have the ghost of your former protege. This is going to do a lot of damage to Matt, you know. Because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going on. But what is he really like? Well, let's see. Matt's always been kind of a player with women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say, it's just a game, to justify himself. What? How horrible! That's unforgivable! Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to offend you. But you know, he said once that there's only one person in the world who won't swoon over me. One person who wouldn't swoon over him? His manager, you know, Ms. Adrian Andrews. Why is Mr. Powers suddenly looking kind of energetic? You see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities in their world have this dazzling sort of image, right? A dazzling sort of image? But aren't you part of the dazzle, Mr. Powers? No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around me as things happen. Well, that's true. Oh, hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide? You mean Miss Impact's? We heard something about how our wedding was cancelled. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day. About that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on. Go ahead. Mr. Powers is so charged up his skin is practically glowing with electricity. Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note. And they say that Juan went and hid it. We heard about that in court today. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left the note. Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Juan, that is. Something bad for Mr. Corrida? Why do you figure so? Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. And she said, it looks like I got caught up with a truly insidious man. A truly insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Corrida by that? Well, There's no one else that would fit that bill, right? And that would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note. I see. Well, that's some good info. Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. There are still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. Okay. We will talk to Matt in just a second, but I gotta go pee-pee, so I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. So it was announced today that all of the U.S. big tech giants will be joining forces under the Trump administration to create a new company called Stargate. The goal? Create the most powerful AI. They're opening up massive data centers all over the country, starting with Texas, and they plan to create artificial superintelligence, basically Skynet, but called Stargate instead. The CEO of Oracle called in the ushering in of the golden age, but for some reason I can't shake the feeling that these incredibly wealthy men are just pooling resources to make themselves even more wealthy. What? Under the Trump administration? No. Definitely not the rich getting richer. Part 2. Ugh, this is upsetting. I saw that he was withdrawing from WHO, the World Health Organization. And that does not sit well, but apparently I completely forgot, that was something he also did in 2020 during the pandemic. So, this is not new, but still nefarious. Anyways, Matt Ungard. Dude, it's Mr. Wright! I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. I hope so, too. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me by saying that Juan Garrido was killed by an assassin, and that the assassin's client is this man, Matt Ungard. What's wrong? Hi!
Oh, shit! Alright!
Reminds me of when Lex Luthor got all the supervillains together to make the League of Extraordinary Evil. It's just like that, but we don't have a Hall of Justice to counteract him. Oh, we're going to make one. If they push enough, they will create their antithesis. Trust me. Mangione is the beginning. Mr. Ungard, there's something I must know with 100% certainty. You seem kind of different. You're totally not like your usual lawyer self, dude. Imagine that. About the press conference. You mean the one where Juan was gonna dress up as the Nickel Samurai? Yeah. I heard a little more about it from Miss Andrews. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hand a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Could you please fill me in on what this secret is, please? Oh, come on. Oh, come on. I knew this was coming. Mr. Nick, don't tell me. Cyclops. You said a secret, right? But I don't have any idea what it is. Do you, dude? Did you know about Mr. Kurita and Miss Andrews' relationship? Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life. Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind. When she started seeing Mr. Kurita. Her mentor was Mr. Kurita's manager, and Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste Impact's suicide note from him. Celeste? Does that jog any memories? I really wish you would stop doing this shit. Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for some za? My treat. Mr. Nick, what's a pizza? Is it kind of pea, like green peas? Let's go eat one later, okay? I got cut off by the pizza dude at the shop. That's too bad. Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? Mr. Ungard, are you connected to Miss Impic's suicide in some way? Mr. Nick, your phone! I don't like the sound of that ringtone right now. Sounds kind of ominous. It's probably just your imagination. You should really pick it up, Mr. Nick. It could be important. Hello? We got a real big problem, pal. What's wrong? I'm on my way to your office right now. Okay. Hey, wait a second. Why is he coming here? It's terrible! I don't know what to say, pal. Oh. I got it faster than I thought. Hey. No time to relax now, pal. I'm confused as anything here. Well, what happened? We got him. We know who bought that spy camera. Huh? This quickly? And this bear is what gave them away, pal. The bear? I figured it out, pal. I figured that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera. But was it Mr. Edgeworth that figured? Shh, Pearls. And? Go on. There's only one person who bought one of those bears who related to this crime. Who is it? Who would be so rude as to spy on another person in their room? Matt Ungod. Huh? Matt Ungod. Your client. That's who, pal. And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Are you sure you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was... I hired it from the department store clerk, pal. This is the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear. A receipt? That's all you have? Nah, it's not just the receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me, I'm sure I sold that bear to Mr. Ungod. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Ungod's autograph out of it, pal. So I'm sure the person who bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Ungod himself. My sight is failing me. This can't be. Credit card receipt added to the court record. So what about the spy camera we found? Ah, that was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you to file away into evidence. Set to record victim's room from 8 p.m. for 1 hour. Running out the time of murder. I know you don't want to give up, pal. I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Juan Corrida's room was Matt Ungod. What? Why would Mr. Ungod do something like this? I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Corrida in one of their rendezvous. I bet is not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera. Are you gonna see him? Mr. Ungod, I mean. Yes? I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we'll find out next. I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for Pearls. Matt Ungod, what in the world have you done? You're working really late, you know? It's already past 10 p.m., dude! I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax. Don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. Probably present the Magatama. Well, that boy is upset. What'd you do to that boy? Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Kurita had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? I told you before, dude. I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright. I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Kurita, especially on that night. Do you need help up there? Someone used his camera to secretly film Mr. Kurita's room the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter. Wow, but dude, where was this camera you're talking about? The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. Huh. I guess Juan had a few of those kinds of fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. Huh. You sure, dude? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Kurita was... you! Where are you? There you are. Mr. Ungard. Don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Aw, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did the bear tell you? He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Ungard. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first? Here's proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. You bought it. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. Ungard. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Dude, all I can tell you from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, okay? This $3,800? This could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush? It's ivory. And it's got elephant hair for bristles. Ew. Elephant hair? Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph. Did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yes? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm gonna find out what I want to know. Because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret is... maybe. He wanted to see the murder he was paying for, maybe. Guide map. Superstar and ultra hot mega secret love scandal. Little boy hates the cleanup stage. Keyshawn!
Hello there.
What's up? Shh, I'm being chased by the stupid police. Don't say a word. Hi. I don't know anything about one. Oh yeah? Well, what do you know about two? I didn't mean to push that one. Well, it was perfect. Thanks. I'll be here all night, folks. I think it's this. I think he wanted to see the murder. What is this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelly the Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelly the Killer? That's ridiculous! Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Matt Ungard, I know why you know Mr. the Killer. It's because you're his client. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. No shot, they seriously named him Shelly the Killer. Yes, they did. Because that's how on the nose this series is. So, how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelly the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Carita. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, Matt Ungard. And here I was trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway. Mr. Ungard, you really did hire... Hold on a sec. I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. Oh, the locks are gone! Oh God. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt Ungard. What? What? Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You really... So you are Shelly the Killer's client? You really you didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you? What do you mean? And that woman? Adrian was quite brave herself. Trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? You're lying. What a terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. How did you even get like a snifter of brandy in prison? It's like a goldfish bowl, Jesus. But why? Why did you hide the video camera and... A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. He knew about Miss Andrews' secret? But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And that's why... Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. That's right. That video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up, and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl? Why? Why would you kill Mr. Kurita? Bum bum bum. Why is that liquid so turbid? Dumbass fucking admitting to the crime during interrogation. Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. If he pleads innocent, I will actually explode. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? If Mr. Kurita had been able to give it, then Mr. Engarde's secret would have... well, that's what we call taking advantage of this situation, you know? I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit, it crept up on me. Yeah, but he was never Mirandized, so it can't be used in court.
Got him!
And then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Kurita ended up dead? Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put on a sweet, innocent face, and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. The assassin, too. Oh, and how could I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone, all working their butts off for me. Matt on guard. Probably. Banjo. Mr. Meow Meow got really handsy one day. Banjo looks like he wants to go out, but I don't know. They both wanted to go out. Aw, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. I'm sorry, but can we get a, can we quote that? JK, this game has no comprehension of the rules of evidence. Yeah, this is so fucking lame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? Probably the meow meow thing I just said. When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Kurita, and you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone. Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that the killer guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a cat nap in my room. You killed Mr. Kurita. I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Want to know how I got these scars? Mr. Meow Meow got handsy one night. Aw, too bad. You can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? Aw, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do. Mystic Maya! You wouldn't want to test the killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You... I can't quote Chell reading the script because that's him quoting something else, not me quoting him.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
So if I were you, Mr. Wright,
frustrating.
Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this. That's such a cliche phrase. Juan said something like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how things turned out for him, don't we? Oh no, that was actually something I said. It wasn't game dialogue. Ryder had asked me, it'd be so lame to find out that those scratches were from his cat. And then to which I said, Mr. Meow Meow got handsy one night. Maya, what am I supposed to do? And now you finally found it. Oh. The starting line of this case. Edgeworth. I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Oh, I thought it was literally something you read from the game. No. That was 100% chill. Well, Mr. Wright, what are you going to do if you plan on changing your strategy? No! We can't do that. That'd be quite the thing for the game to say, although the game has said some pretty out-of-pocket things. Yeah, it would not be a surprise at all if it came for this game. We can't do that. That's right. He's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth? Right. Only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Mr. Wright, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. Yeah, but help me. I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer. Matt on guard, that man is really... Ah! It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense? But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Oh wait, they're quoting an actual judicial system instead of pulling shit out of their ass. Nah, they'll still pull shit out of their ass. Isn't that exactly how you have fought for your clients up until now? Well, that may be true, but that's because I believe my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get unguarded and acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right. Would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. Wait, am I supposed to understand that? Does Phoenix Wright, a practicing defense attorney, does not understand the very foundation of the adversarial legal system? Shh. Space. Space. You want to save someone. That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? You are a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. People like you and Francesca von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. Francesca, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all. And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You're so petty. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record were meaningless. What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that is why you left the prosecutor's office? But then why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Mr. Nick! The transceiver! I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow? My, what is the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time. Tell me, please, why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Unguard's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right. Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client. Don't toy with me! A man who hires an assassin is just as much a killer himself. Shit. I believe you are asking me for a reason as to why I am doing what I'm... Yeah. This is what I like to call my aftercare. What the heck is aftercare? My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take good care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients for my handiwork. That is what is called client relations, and it is part of an assassin's duty. An assassin's duty? We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end. What is your name? I believe I told you once before. However, you did, but my name is the Killer. Shelly the Killer. You're Shelly the Killer? Top 100 baby names for boys in Japan. Brooding Edgeworth is brooding. Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain, Maya, it would be my duty as an assassin to see to it she receives a nice long nap. No! Now then, if you'll excuse me, if someone were to trace this signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome. Meow. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! I don't know what to say. Edgeworth! Did you hear that? At the end of that transmission. Huh? Oh, that. It sounded like a cat. A cat? It can't be. That cat. Can it? It was the cat all along! It was a cat burglar! Of lives! Ah! Oh. Just sounded like a... Well, okay. Mr. Meow Meow's getting hella handsy tonight! Yeah. That cat clearly learned to impersonate the human voice so it could frame the innocent the Killer family. I think I know where Shelly the Killer is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all of the police units head for Unguard Mansion immediately. Alright. You hurry over as well then. Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun. Yeah! Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Hotel... Oh, what? Okay. So I go here, and from here I can go to the living room. That's really fucking dumb. Maya! Please answer us! Mystic Maya! We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. Assuming he's still in the area. I can't believe it. That butler! All this time, he was the killer? He and Unguard were working together all this time. I'm sure that they have worked out a contingency plan ahead of time. There's a small door at the bottom of this bigger door, Mr. Nick. But it's for... I bet it's for the cat to use. Oh, you mean shoe? It's an unguarded personal collection. I'd say it's a hobby of his to collect prop masks of shows related to his own. You seem to know all sorts of details about Matt on Guard. Almost too many. He's the defendant in this case. Of course I would know about him. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oh, it's a figurine of a bear! Well, there's a lot of cuts on it for some reason. A wooden bear-shaped figurine. It's covered in many thin cuts. A bear. Isn't that more of a thing for Mr. Kurita? Why would something like this be here? Right, look down. There's a little pet door installed there. Ah, I'm sure that's for shoe. Do you think that this came through that little door? This door! It's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking doors down by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. Slam. Oh my! Ah! There's no one here! Oh. From the looks of this room, I would say this is Unguard's private lounge. Hold on. I gotta take a quick break, get rid of these hiccups. I will be right back. Hold on. Alright. Let's finish out this investigation. Look at this, Wright! An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals in a VCR. Check inside the deck! If there's tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. If we're lucky, it'll have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it. I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found. No. But there's no mistake that someone used this to record something. It looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. We searched all over, but it looks like he got away. I'm sorry. Looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time. And now we've lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking to you to be her pillar. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We're close. I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us. Maya. The light doesn't filter in all the way, so it's hard to see. Looks like there are crates and cardboard boxes tied up with wires here. This looks like a picture of Miss Impax? With love, Celeste. Miss Impax? You mean... Yes. Mr. Kurita's former manager. Why would a picture of Miss Impax be here in Mr. Unguard's mansion? And what does it say with love? This might be a clue. Ah! What's wrong, Pearls? Please, let me see that picture frame. Huh? What's so special about the frame? On the back! There's something written on the back of the frame! Maya. It's Mystic Maya! She left us a message! What? I thought you'd come. I knew you would. Now listen up. You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag a not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. Pearly, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's got to watch out for the helpless lunk. That's it for now, Nick. I guess... Whoops. No! Mystic Maya! Right! Oh, nothing. We've searched the house, and this is the last room. It looks like he eluded us. Edgeworth. Yes? As far as clues go, I think this is about all we're going to get. But I'm still short one last thing. And what is that? Miss Andrews' Cyclock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, then I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow. To blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Well, let's go, Pearls. It's time to open up that last lock. March 22nd, detention center. Visitor's room. Good evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews. I've come to remove your Cyclock. Cyclock? I want to know, and you will tell me your secret. Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can. Okay. Fuck you! Why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Ungard for the murder? I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer. No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. Ungard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. If she didn't have that much time, how come she fully animated herself that way? So you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people. There's something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. How about this? Celeste? J. Mark is playing Chrono Cross. That's a good fucking choice. Chrono Cross is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. If you guys haven't played it, you totally should. The graphics are dated, but boy, is it a good RPG. It's got my all-time favorite JRPG soundtrack ever. Like, if you get nothing from that game at all, listen to the soundtrack. It is... You listen to it, and it's like, holy shit, this came out on the PS1. It's really fucking good. Hold on one second. Banjo is asking politely to come inside. Come on. Okay. You too, little chilly girl. Come here, drink it. There's only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings, and even revenge. And that is Miss Impact's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. Doggos go out, the doggos come in. On top of that, the one who hit her suicide note was also Juan. What does all this have to do with Matt? You're right. You haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Mr. Ungard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Miss Impacts and her suicide. Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Matt? This picture, what I just done did found. This is a photo of Miss Impacts, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. What? With love, Celeste. This is Miss Impact's handwriting, isn't it? Where did you find this? No, that's all right. It was a rhetorical question. Yes, it is. I found this at Mr. Ungard's mansion. And after all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed. Unlock successful!
Here we go!
Why frame him? Celeste, she was supposed to get married to Juan. Yes, but I heard that it didn't work out. Because Mr. Carrera didn't want to get married to her anymore, right? Yes, because of Matt. Because of Mr. Ungard? What do you mean? Okay, Ratter wants to put in her headcanon really quick and says that Matt and Juan had a passionate gaycation and Juan didn't want anything to do with impacts anymore. They had a very passionate gaycation, per Ratter. I think I can see where this is going. Whoop. Celeste. She was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at that time. I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why... Oh, so that's why With Love, Celeste is written on the frame of that picture. They were a couple, weren't they? It wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used. Toyed with until she was thrown away. That's so horrible. Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. Ryder's been obsessed with gaycations as of late. Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? A lot of gaycation talk out of that rat's mouth. A scandal would have destroyed that. Which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios. Yeah, but you kept bringing it up. Gaycation's all I ever wanted. Gaycation, hitting on all the dudes. Hi, Trinket. There's a Trinket puppy. The little girl. Whoop. You can see her snoot. Trinket looks like a plushie. But I also sort of don't understand, why was she mad? The beauty of the gaycation is that everything that happens on gaycation stays on gaycation. Exactly. It's basically like masturbating with other people's anuses. Like, come on. Don't be weird about it. Ratter. And then she went on a tirade about rhythmic gymnastics. And that is where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan was such a good match that they were even planning to get married. And then it was suddenly called off. On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? I'd quote, it's basically like masturbating with other people's anuses. I mean, come on, don't be weird about He is a shark. Do you want to come read this quote that Space just added for me? I said anuses. So, Chrono Crossing. Hi, Toko. Welcome. Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. I see. So that's what happened. But then why did Mr. Karita have to call out the wedding? Jill, I dare you to put that on a t-shirt and wear that t-shirt. I want a t-shirt with all of our out-of-pocket quotes and just wear it. I used to have a t-shirt that had a bunch of band jokes on it. Like, jokes that were about being in band in high school. And I would love a shirt just like that, but with stupid quotes that we made. Tokoa! I don't understand at all. I remember that shirt. It was a good shirt. It was probably because of his worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most. Promised impacts? that wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left behind a suicide note. And in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds, and so that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. And Colin made a website with Mr. Gibson quote generator. I remember that. Horse apples! Why in God's name is this little girl sitting here during this conversation? Give me fucking adult. There are two of them here. Neither here nor there, but since Toko mentions Mr. Gibson, he was our band director whenever I was in high school. Whenever we were in high school. Toko and I were in the same marching band. Toko and I go way, way back. Anyways, Mr. Gibson had a very thick southern accent. And one year our kick dancers, which we call the color guard or the drill team or whichever, were doing a routine to a Little Shop of Horrors medley. And because he had such a thick accent, he kept on referring it to as Little Shop of Horrors. So, for the remainder of the season, he would do the awkward thing of whenever he mentioned it to make sure that he gave horrors 2 syllables. And it would be the most awkward shit. He'd be like, once the drill team finishes up with the Little Shop of Horrors medley. Horrors. I'm stunned. You two let that through. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty funny. That's fucking awesome. The entire season, like, he made that mistake once. Everybody laughed about it super fucking hard. And from that point on, he would make sure every time he said the word horror, he would go horror. And now whenever I see the genre of horror, I always think of Mr. Gibson going, horror. Dinner time. Teens would lose their shit. And we did. So that's what, so that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. Spaghetti stuffed mushroom. Ooh. Wait, the spaghetti are stuffed with mushrooms? What? Then, when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note. But why would he do that? It's simple. To kill the Batman. Juan realized that note was a powerful weapon against Matt, and it would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge? There's that word again. Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note. At a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. I think he's using Spanish Y as in and. Spaghetti y stuffed mushroom. Oh. Okay, spaghetti y stuffed mushrooms. I got you. That makes more sense. And that was at the press conference after the stage show. Stuffed mushrooms. Yeah. I don't remember what they're stuffed with. I think it's like cheese or something like that, but they're really, really good. Wait, why am I surprised? I should have known that was a dish. Keyshawn, you never had stuffed mushrooms? It's been forever since I've had stuffed mushrooms. I know all about it because I had it all from Juan. I was It was so I could find out about all this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They are quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night, when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another, after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I had even brought a lighter. I've never had mushrooms before. You've never had mushrooms before? Really? But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring them my own kind of cruel revenge. When I had the chance when I was younger, I threw them away because they looked nasty. Mushrooms are weird. So, they're good, but the texture can be off-putting. However, it all depends on how they are prepared. Like, if you were to saute mushrooms in, like, red wine vinegar or something like that, they're really, really, really good. But just, like, sauteed in oil or something, and you just eat them by themselves, not with anything else, I could see where they would have a weird texture that's off-putting. So I would say whenever you try mushrooms, Keyshawn, make sure that you try it with a dish or with something that has a really, really strong flavor to it. Mushrooms literally have no flavor. They take on the flavor of whatever you cook them with. Yeah, it's more of a texture thing. Because they're a fungus, they're automatically going to kind of have a spongy, weird taste to them, even if you don't cook them. Spongy texture to them, I should say. And when you cook them, they become spongy, squishy. However, if they have a good flavor to them, that's actually pretty good. They're filler food, basically. Yeah. Oh, so they're like avocado. Kinda. I feel like avocados have a more robust flavor to them than mushrooms, but yeah, sure. I barely ever had avocados either. What about guacamole? Celeste was killed by those two monsters. So when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. And that's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all this, are you still going to help that man? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul profession. Bengoshi desu. Thank you very much for your time and for talking with me. Avocados are very fatty. Mushrooms are more like squash almost. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that comparison. Yeah, so they are kind of a filler food in that they take on the flavor of whatever they're in. Kind of like how when you add celery to a dish, it doesn't really add much to it except a crunch. Celery doesn't taste like anything, but it has a texture. So yeah, mushrooms are kind of like that. Like sliced squash is very similar to mushrooms in texture and flavor. It's got kind of a rubbery texture almost. Man, I need to expand my palate. Yeah, man. It's the beginning of 2025. Make that your New Year resolution. My New Year's resolution is to just continuing to better myself through things like learning language and getting back to the gym and whatever. I just want to better myself in some ways. But yeah, you trying new foods is a fun new resolution, I would say. I posted a picture of stuffed mushrooms in the Discord. I want to see. I have had stuffed mushrooms in the past, but it's been forever and a day, like, since I lived with my parents in, like, 2009, 2010. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, those are good. Oh, yeah. If you've never had stuffed mushrooms, you should definitely try it. Go to a restaurant like not Olive Garden, the Macaroni Grill, a step up from the Olive Garden, and get stuffed mushrooms. They sell them in produce section of Walmart's where I live. Super simple to just pop in the oven or air fryer. Yeah, that too. Kind of like buying ravioli in the refrigerated aisle. In fact, do that. Get ravioli and stuffed mushrooms. That sounds fucking delicious. Anyways, we gotta finish up this investigation so that all we have left is the lawyer and the trial afterwards. I think we're pretty close. I can't sleep either. Not with my situation or with what I know now. Oh. Well, there you go. Oh my god, those look good. They look like muffins spawn first. That's because it's filled with cheese, dude. Like, you gotta try some. They're fucking delicious. Cheesy vegetable muffins. That's essentially what they are. Okay, that's it. So from a glance, it looks like tomorrow, or not tomorrow, the next stream will be the end of it, I think. We have the trial bit, 4-1 and 4-2, and that is it. I think that'll be it for this game. We might be able to beat this on my next playthrough. So then, after we finish that up, we'll continue Metroid Other M. And after we finish that up, I guess we'll start our next thing. We'll, I guess Castlevania. Technically, there is still one more game in this. I'm wondering if we should finish that before we start Castlevania, but I'm not really sure. I wish that they would release Metroid Prime 2 remaster. I absolutely fucking I cannot wait for them to do remaster some more of the Metroid Prime stuff. I think Phoenix Wright could do with a break. Yeah, I think so too. We'll be chatting up a storm during Other M because that game is so boring we have nothing else to do. I'm hoping that like it's a matter of I'm just in the beginning bits and maybe more of the interesting stuff comes up later. But we'll see. I am ready to slog through it because it is a game that I have always wanted to play through, but I've never had the opportunity to, or whenever the opportunity arose, I never actually wanted to just like sit down and play it, you know? But having an audience while I suffer through it for my first time ever is kind of fun. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me on yet another Phoenix Wright romp. We're nearly done. We're nearly done with part 2. According to Ratter, after this is the end of it. The first game had like 6 trials and DLC, but one of the trials was like the beginner one, or like the tutorial trial, and they were a lot quicker. They were significantly quicker. So this is, I thought 4 trials is not enough for this game, but no, like this trial and the last one just took so long compared to the other ones. I would appreciate if these trials were shorter. See, that's the thing. I would appreciate if they were shorter and there were more of them. I like the variety, and I don't like them staying too long on the same trial for, longer than is necessary. The last trial kept on digging up shit, and then this trial is like, oh, well, you gotta keep going. Well, we're about to end. But no, we gotta keep going. But we're about to end. Okay, well, I'll look up stuff, but then we gotta keep going. I just like the variety of the first game. So far, I would say that I enjoy the first game more than the second. But, I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to capture lightning in a bottle a second time with the second game, and it just kind of fell short. But whatever it is, we will continue this and probably finish this next Thursday. So join me for that fun event. Next Wednesday, we will be doing more Persona 5. But until next time, like we always say, night-night, and don't let them killers bite. See ya!